Good day, it's Arno Klaasen here from LifeWise, and today I want to talk to you about something that will be very helpful for you in your personal life, in your family life, even in your business life, and especially in your financial life also. This is something you need to understand. It's like a structure that God has set for us, and the way how He's functioning and the way He's dealing with things in our lives. So let's start out, and I call it as kings and priests. Kings and priests. And let me read to you Revelation 1 verse 5 and 6. He's saying, "And from Jesus Christ, the faithful witness and the firstborn from the dead, and the ruler over the kings of the earth," the ruler over the kings of the earth. Jesus is the King of all kings, and we are those kings. God has created every man to be a king, so He's the King of all kings of the earth. To Him who loved us and washed us from our sins in His own blood. And verse 6 is saying, "And He has made us kings and priests." He has made us kings and priests. Kings and priests. To His God and Father, to Him be glory and dominion forever and ever. Amen. And this is all to God. He's God and Father. This is also very important. He talks about God as the God and Father. And this is where everything starts. Everything starts with God. We've already said so many times, that God is a God of a kingdom. God is a God that stays in the kingdom of heaven. And in this kingdom, God has two roles. And the first role is God is a king. He's looking after the governmental side of the kingdom. He's keeping order, and he's keeping us the right atmosphere, because the king has got the father heart, and therefore he reaches out to people in the kingdom to be their father and to have a father heart towards them. So God is a king with a father heart. So He's in essence a king and a father. That's why Jesus said to His God and His Father. It's two different roles. It's the same person. That's very important. It's the same person. It's not two different things in that we need to separate them. We never separate them. But we discern the two, and we run them like tracks of a train. Yes, the life happens in the train, but the tracks keeps the train on course and on its way and on its purposes. That's extremely important. There's two tracks. There's a king track and there's a priest track that we need to understand in this whole process, that will help us to come to the full understanding. So as the king, God is reigning. This is a governmental side. There's always a governmental side prior to relationship. Relationship always happens within the framework of a governmental setup. There cannot be good relationship without a good governmental backup and setup. And that's why we're having so many problems in our let's say church world. We all want this relationships and the hard thing. But it's in the background of a kingdom. It's in the background of certain rules and certain laws. It's in the background of a certain order. It's not in the background of just what you want to be and how you want to be. No, God is a king. And the king wants obedience from us, because God's kingdom is functioning on certain laws. We cannot create our own laws for our little bit of fellowship or relationships. No. God has got His own governmental setup, and He's got His own way of dealing with people. It's a kingdom and it's a covenant. If you want to know how God is dealing in relationship, look at the covenant. You can go and read my new book of the covenant that is on lifewise.co.za in English and Afrikaans. You can't understand relationship if you don't understand covenant. Yes, but on the other side, you need to understand kingdom, and that you can go on my congregationwise.co.za webpage to understand kingdom and how kingdom is functioning. We need both of these in our lives to have success. It's a governmental thing. It is a juridical thing, if you can say it like that, and it's a family thing on this side that is important. Remember, we never had business before the fall of man, because everything was for free. So after the fall of man, business came into the world. That is important. That's not wrong, but it falls into this category of the governmental side. This is what I just going to say, as an introduction. On the second side, I want you to understand that both these two things are like two systems in our lives. You need to stick with me until number 3, because number 3 is the big thing. And now in the second place, we need to understand that these two roles of God, He's got a position of a king and a role of a father, translates into the two systems that God has given us on earth, where He has also made us kings and priests. He has given us a business or a governmental system, wherein the business is functioning itself. That's not wrong, that is biblical. But then there's also a family system. With the family system, we package people with relationships. With the business and governmental side, we package people with systems and money. So people, when we look at this, and remember it's the two tracks of the train. You need to conquer money and you need to conquer relationship, to conquer life, to keep your train on the road. I see people going off the track, because some track just disappeared, some track just stopped, some track is maybe never there. I lived a long time in my life without this business track in my life, because I was raised like, if you are in this side, you never go there, that side. And we teach people that those that are in business, they never go to this family side. But we say this is the money side and this is the relationship side. This is the career side and this is the ministry side. All people were created to have both systems, both tracks, and to have a career and a ministry. Hear me clearly. Don't tell yourself, I'm full-time ministry, therefore I don't need to make money. You are fully responsible for your money. But those that are in the business world are fully responsible to minister unto people and to have a ministry in their life. Because it's a general calling of God over all people. We will come to specific callings, but we are all called to function and to have a career and to have a ministry, to make money and to have relationships, to get to a place where you get both of these tracks in your life. That is very important for your own life at the end of the day. It is important also to understand that in the business world we work to the outside mainly. We have a product, we go to the outside. We want to have as much as possible clients, but we don't have actually relationship with the clients. But in the family side, we don't go and find 1,000 people to have relationship in our lives. Maybe the average person can only have 4 to 12 relationships in his life. Maybe if you've got more time and you're financially free, you can have 20 good relationships in your life. But listen, the point with relationships is going deep, it's going inside. That's why we have this side, is to have quantity, quality. On this side we have quantity. Here we go deeper, there we go outside to the numbers and the big things, if you can say it like that. But here we go deep inside to the quality of things. We have deep relationships. You can, and all of us has got a problem. We only have 24 hours in our lives. And we don't have the opportunity to have deep relationships with hundreds and hundreds of people. People, when you hear this, you can also see this fits perfectly into what we've already called the positional and the conduct. The positional is a juridical, governmental thing that Jesus did on the cross. But the relational side, the conduct side, is a relational side that God has also given us. He's also come into relationship with us, but we have the responsibility to go into relationship with Him. That is important. God brought us this side, but we've got the responsibility in our world to have relationship and to build our businesses and all these things. So remember, as we've said, with the business system we go to many and big on the outside, but with relationship you go to the inside. Because it's a business system and a family system. Never separate them, never polarize them, never make them one, never let them divert from each other. They always need to run parallel with each other and they feed each other. Yes, we take as much as possible relational principles to work, but we never make work family. We take as much as possible business principles home, but we never make home family. Yes, we do have a budget and stuff at home, but I've never seen in any home, vision, mission and all these things, because that is business principles. In a family, it's a total different scenario. In business, we centralize. But in family we decentralize. In business, we bring in salaries, and from a point of centralizing, we pay salaries. But in a family, there's also a lot of money flowing, but it is from heart to heart. It is freely. It's uncontrolled. It's never controlled by a person. Because the family is kept together by every person bringing his part in the whole process. And now we come to the third part that is very important, that we need to understand. Although we've said that we've got a general calling to be a king and a priest, all of us also have a specialized calling according to our gift profile and our creational purpose that God has given us. And you will find that your creational purpose mainly develops in one of these two areas, because you cannot be a big business person and a fivefold ministry. And that's why we have, if we come to specialized ministry, we say we've got big business people running big businesses, big money, employing hundreds and hundreds of people, running big projects. We call those people kings. But we also have people that specialize in the relational world. We call them the fivefold ministry. That is important. That's the fivefold ministry. And in this whole thing, we need to understand that you specialize in one of the two. In my own life, I'm sort of a 60% priest and a 30%, let's say, a king, if you can say it like that. But this is not like a king that other people this 30% is only sort of a general calling to just make enough money for my own personal needs, if you can say it in that sense. But the real king, the specialized king, is a person that makes millions and millions. It's a real king, running big projects, that's opening up big doors in society. It is a big missing link, especially in the church world, that we do not have the kings in the church, because they'll tell you the church vision is too narrow. It's just too inside. It's just implosion to the inside. They want to conquer at least the whole of South Africa, and have a business that's go globally. And here we sit, and a congregation is supposed to be a local thing. It's supposed to be because we go local and we go deep local, if you can say it like that. But we need these two together. We need them. There's something that the king can do that the priest cannot do. There's something that the priest can do that the king cannot do. The king can open doors and run programs and get entrance into society like no one else. But the priest can keep the relationships together. The priest can keep the people together and keep substance in the whole process. While we're running to the outside, can keep substance and keep the family together, keep something that's in the family that is worth it at the end of the day. But today we have an absolute absence of a teamwork between the real kings and the real priests in the specialized ministry. Because out of our church situation, we as pastors expect the king to come and submit under us, because we think we are the big shots in society. No. They are also not the big shots in society. They just got a gift to open up big things in society. But we as priests, we've got a role. Because in this thing, it's a role. This is much more, the kings are used to positions and they're running their businesses out of their positions. But they've got the opportunity to open up doors in society, to run big projects and help them to do it, and open up doors for the priest that the priest cannot do. But the priest can do a work in the community that the king cannot do. And the one cannot describe for the other one, because everyone is very unique in himself. But when these two specific ministries can come and run together as a team, we will get the movement that we want to see. Because this is an essential key in movement, people, is for the specialized kings and priests to work together, to form a team, not the one above the other, because it's a team. Remember, we're all kings in our general calling. We're all priests in our general calling. We are not the one above the other. But everyone has got authority in his world, that is the specialized world, that we must honor each other in. And not be a competition for each other, because we cannot be a competition for each other. We will never be a competition as specialized ministries, because the one cannot do what the other one can do. Why do you want to compete with each other? But the one can open up doors that the other one cannot do. The other one can put down something that helps the people that the other one cannot do. And it is beautiful to find this running together. And in the movement that we're going to see and busy seeing in the world, we see the kings and the priests coming together as a team. The word teams means together everyone achieves more. Together everyone achieves more. And we need to run these teams. We need to run in a team like coming together and helping each other, because this is all for the sake of doing something in the community. In planting a movement of congregation in the community, where we mobilize people, open up doors, and God will reward everyone for his contribution. Because God has sent out people for their own ministry, in their own creative ministry of their own creative purpose. And the one cannot do the other one. And we need to come together, we need to work together, we need to do the things together, and at the end of the day, we will come to a place where we absolutely see this movement happening. But you need to get out of competition, trying to be the chief in everything. You are not the chief, you are just one of the pieces of the puzzle on the table in your town and in your country. Just be the piece that you are. And the great builder, Jesus Christ, will put everything together and he will build the puzzle. We water and we sow, but the Lord let grow. Jesus let grow. Jesus is the head of the congregation. He is the head. He is the bridegroom. Don't take the roll up of the bridegroom. Just be part of the bride. Fulfill your function or your role that the Lord has given you. Either the function of a king, maybe, or the role of a priest. And just be it. And experience how the greatness of God will start to take over this earth. And I hope that this could help you to understand this thing of kings and priests and live it fully in your own life. Thank you very much.